Hi you guys, my name is Oshun the Great, and welcome back to my beautiful channel. So today I briefly want to talk about chaos culture versus colonialism, and so understanding when we live under systems like colonialism and all these isms that we live under, all these systems that we live under, colonialism goes hand in hand with chaos culture. And so, chaos culture under colonialism, under modernized civilization, that's really barbarism repackaged. Just because we have technology doesn't mean that we're civilized. Civilization is very dependent on how we treat each other, basically. So, another conspiracy, I don't know if technology was given to us or was created, so because we act very barbaric. But anyway, colonialism goes hand in hand with chaos culture, and the reason that is, it goes with chaos culture. It goes with it's equivalent to trickology or technology. And the reason that is because a lot of systems based on control or power structures, it needs to have people on their toes or in upheaval constantly. And so there's this dynamic, it's this unspoken dynamic that there are no safe havens. And so knowing that, this is why we have things like RIC systems where people don't own shit. This is why we have people at their jobs more than they are at their fucking home, because the whole point of living under these systems is to take away any kind of sacredness, to make you trade on your integrity, for example. And so taking away all sacredness means there's no protection, there's no integrity, there's no, morality is blurred lines, all of this shit. And if you look at a lot of cultures that colonialism stripped away from people, you will notice that there's a lot of sacredness. There's meditation. There's time for solitude. There's time for pondering. A lot of times, there's time for pride in one's culture. And the whole point in colonialism is to fuck up all of that. And again, the reason that is because what is colonialism built off of? Genocide, oppressions, ongoing genocide and oppressions. And so modernization is just cloaked in this idea. It's just romanticizing genocide and romanticizing violence, and colonialism equals violence, modernization equals violence. Even the fact that somewhere has to be exploited for your ass to be comfortable. And but yeah, even the civilians in first world countries, they have no safe havens to keep them under and keep them in check. And so they allow homelessness for people to basically scare folks and to keeping the hamster wheel going. And so chaos culture, you heard it here, kids, goes hand in hand with colonialism, and its control is to keep people in fear. Goes back to control is to it's the whole point of the formula that keeps people in power and keeps people looking for something outside themselves. And so it goes to understanding. Once you understand this chaos culture, trickology, barbarism is meant to blur lines. Nothing is sacred. Even life itself is not sacred at all. Everyone's collateral. It becomes resistance, and damn near necessary to restore balance and restore life, put value back on life itself. It's important to resist, to take time back, to make your routine sacred, not on some productivity colonialism shit. I'm talking about finding spirituality that works for you, whether that's prayer, whether that's being in solitude, making time to ponder life and question all this shit. Thinking for yourself, creating a routine where something is sacred. Some people that's altars. Some people that's like being in harmony with nature itself. Going to the fucking ocean. You know, getting back to the roots, because no, we can't do shit without roots. Like, funny enough, there's all these billionaires and stuff that hoard resources, but the planet gave us everything we need. You go to the ocean, you go to nature, you go to all these things, and so reconnecting with the roots, source, the sun, things like that. Simplicity, remembering all this shit, making things sacred again. Just because life And these systems and people tell us like life isn't sacred, or everyone should be domesticated and should be a slave and all these things. No, we need more people who resist, who say no, my life has more value than just being indoctrinated to these bullshit and being limited in my existence. And I feel like having, outside of the industrial era, having purpose and freedom is still but an idea, because everyone's so fucking power hungry and crab in the bucket syndrome. They like the idea of people having purpose, but sometimes other folks don't want folks being free either. And so I feel like we haven't tilted enough in consciousness to understand that. But the more people actually resist in their day-to-day life, I'm talking about beyond protest and all this shit, then we can get somewhere. But basically, putting value back on life itself, like you're not just a worker, you're not just, you're not just productivity, you're not just performance, you're not just like what people project onto you. And it's gonna take feeling crazy or being perceived as crazy by other people. And honestly, obviously, whole communities can help people do this too. It's not just on the individual, but there are ways we can start, by ourselves. My third eye. But no, yeah, taking the power back and resisting in small ways, thinking of creative ways to make your life sacred again. And to everyone, it's going to be different. Sacredness to me is taking solitude, prayer, creating, taking all that shit back. And there doesn't have to be, no one has to understand it. And so, yeah. Understand what life really is, and you're not crazy, you're not insane, and we're not supposed to keep up with the Joneses. I know people keep trying to normalize this to the break of fucking time, but we're not supposed to like normalize all this toxic shit. And I see the pushback in some generations, but I also see the doubling down. But yeah, see you later.